Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this, a brand new day. Yes, indeed, it is Monday, I imagine. Time has kind of gotten away from me, and yes, though, it is Monday. And when I say time has gotten away from me, when it became Saturday, I was honestly surprised because I thought it was Friday. So, time has a way of slipping free. Thumbs up for that. Last night I went walkies, yay, 7-mile round trip. Did it pretty quick too. Right around 2 hours, which meant I was really chugging. So very, very cool. Tammy leaned against the damp stone wall. Luminescent fungus lining the walls, almost as bright as low-level electric. The limbless, jawless beast lying at an awkward angle, its neck broken. Yet it still lived. Its eyes moved. It breathed wetly. Tammy'd started doing lunges before coming to town, and when she had set her shoulders and kept her back straight, she'd used her legs to lift and torn the beast's jaw from its skull as it screamed in terror and agony. But it still lived, even after the fall into these caves. "All right then. If you still won't die," said Tammy as she pushed away from the wall, the remaining half of her broken bobby pin held tightly in her fist. "Then I'm guess I'm going through your right eye to destroy your brain." My apologies. This time I'm pretty sure it's just because I was ingesting some cannabis smoke, and thumbs up for that. It's a good thing. You gotta do what you gotta do. I'm feeling a little bit of it upstairs and more. I don't feel loopy, but my short-term memory is much more choppy. So my sincere apologies. It's the only reason that I can move. So I gotta do it. And not often enough, I will occasionally feel something up here. 99% of the time, all I feel is pain control and a vague sense of goodwill. So when I get, excuse me, when I do feel a little bit loopy from it, it's like, wow, bonus. I'm definitely not going to complain. It's nice when it happens. But 7-mile round trip, done very well. And while I was out, it did not rain, but I used my umbrella a lot anyway because it was very misty and there was a lot of moisture in the air. And if you didn't have an umbrella tilted in front of you, by the time you'd gone a few blocks, you were soaked. So I used my umbrella. I looked kind of weird, but hey, I'd rather be dry than not, especially when you're going to walk 7 miles. Definitely a thumbs up for that. Let's see, I need to check my little listy here. I made some notes about things to talk about because I want to try and remember them, because there's stuff that I've thought about while I was on walkies going, I want to talk about this. There was, at least when I looked up online with my oldest son who lives in Montana now, we had looked up what was in basic training for the Air Force now, which was like 2010, 11, 12, as opposed to when I was in the service. And I kind of wish we'd had this happen, and I'm kind of glad we didn't, because when I went in, we were just all housed in big dorms. They just had rows of beds along good Lord, my sincere apologies. We just had the 2 rows of beds, one down each side of the big room, and then lockers on the walls, and that was the dorm, and we stayed there. Every night, that's where we slept. You had rotation where you would be woke up if it was your turn, and you would do a walk through where you check the walls to make sure that all the walls around the sockets weren't overheating for safety, just teaching you routine, that it doesn't matter how good, bad, or indifferent the job, you do the job. So there was a lot of that. But it was just, we stayed in those dorms and we got up every morning and we did our exercises, and then we just did drill and learning and such like that. But when I looked it up, like I say, about this time, like 8 years ago, with my oldest, kind of wish we had done this, kind of glad we didn't, because at least back then, there was a period of a couple weeks where they actually take you out of the dorms, and just like the other branches, you make a base, and then you live on that base. And that's good. You need to learn this kind of stuff. You need to know how to do it. So on the one hand, I'm really glad that they're doing that. That's very, very good. I kind of wish that I'd had to do that when I was younger. But on the other hand, as not very fun living in a dorm with a whole bunch of people that you don't really know, a lot whom you don't like, but you gotta live together. I don't know. I'm kind of glad I didn't have to go through that. But I'm glad that they're doing it, and I kind of wish I had. But times change. And like I say, I'm glad it's happening, because you need to know, especially if you are in a place where you may have to dig in and survive. So it's good to know. Oh, hokey smokes. Oh yes, this is one that actually I need to look. I don't have any of the physical books anymore. I need to look online in rule books, because I was out walking, and it was last night, and I suddenly remembered. Back history, there was a man called M.A.R. Barker. He was a professor, and he taught in universities, and he was learned about various subjects, not a ton. Yeah, and he wasn't involved in physical sciences and such like that. But he did a lot of linguistic work and thinking about societies. One of the things he did, and he went from company to company to company as the years went by, because he started back when like Dungeons and Dragons started back in the 70s, and I think he was like, in his 30s at that point. So of course he's not with us anymore. But he came up with a whole universe of sorts for a role-playing game, where it's completely different from anything that we know, partly because it takes place already. The background for the story, it's like 30,000 years in the future. Human society is nothing we can even imagine. And on this one planet, which is kind of a nexus area, because there's 7 other major intelligent races that everybody's dealing with in the galaxy. Big galactic civilization. But on this planet that's being terraformed to make it habitable for all 8 of the races, approximately. Some of these details are going to be not right, because it's been decades since I've actually read the source material, but I read the source material a lot, so I've got the rough details right. The minor details are going to be kind of iffy. But they were terraforming this planet. The original inhabitants were being put onto smaller and smaller reserves, and that's just the way life was going on. And then one day something happened, and the sun of that planet tipped into another universal space, suddenly cut off entirely from the rest of the universe. Nobody's quite sure what happened. on either side. But it did. And so there's 8 races, the original race, all on now just this one planet that's cut off from the, except, you know, its star system. The star system is cut off from everything else. So whatever people have as technology is all people have as technology. No more learning. Anything that you don't immediately have as knowledge right now is, you can't connect to anything to get knowledge. Good Lord. And so, in an unimaginably far future already, and then this place tips, and then the game starts about 60,000 years after that. So all of the races have become, well, as best they can be, from being cut off and then combined and stuck on one planet as best they can. So he developed his own languages, his own societies, and he wrote about them like they were existing societies, and he got really in-depth and deep. The backstory about that is to talk about, I had mentioned before how I was trying to get something exotic sounding for the alphabet for my cosmic horror pantheon. And I had mentioned now how they sounded vaguely Japanese-like. But as I was walking and remembering that when you take a look at the name of the game and the name of the planet on the rule books that M.A.R. Barker wrote, it's T-A-K-T-E-K. My apologies. U-M-E-L. It looks like Tecumel. But it's actually pronounced closer to Tecumel. And I was remembering that while walking and going, oh my goodness, with my Amaterasu, Erugats. They're not vaguely Japanese sounding. They're vaguely Tecumel sounding. So I'm not even accidentally, yeah, I wasn't even purposefully blending it with something that's a real thing. I was blending it accidentally with somebody else's fictional language to come up with an exotic sound. And I had to laugh at myself for that. Your brain works in mysterious ways, because I had not consciously thought about Tecumel for over 10 years. And yet, my subconscious was picking and poking through memories that I hadn't been using and going, oh, you know what? That's a good basis. How about that? The mind works in fun ways. It is a good thing. Definitely. Let's see if I have anything else on the list over here, which I have quite a bit. One of them is real quick. And this is a really irritating thing about Windows and Windows 10. If you've got your Windows set up so that it's supposed to use internet time to set your clock, it only checks internet time right then when you click use internet time. It goes, okay, checks, and then it will never check again until you uncheck that and then check it again. Because every time I try to boot up my computer and it says you need to go into your BIOS, to your setup to recover your BIOS, every time I do that, the date is off. It's anywhere from 12 to 24 hours behind. So I have to tell Windows 10 to not set for internet time, and then to set for internet time, and then it goes, oh, hey, here's the real time. Minor annoyances, first world problems, but it's something that bugs me. As well as it used to bother me before when the welcome screen, you would start to type, showing the system that you've got a physical keyboard, and only at that moment, after you've told it you have a physical keyboard, would the virtual keyboard come up on the screen. I finally figured out how to turn all that off, so it just went up to the welcome thing and you typed in all your passwords and stuff. Now, of course, it's back to doing the same thing, only all my settings, I'll still say not to do that, and even when I turn that all off and then turn it all back on, it still only comes up with the virtual keyboard when you prove that you've got a physical keyboard, which is such stupid design, it bothers me immensely. Thumbs up for that. Again, first world problems. I'm a human being. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. Oh! And for the first time in a year, I tried to take the path back behind the library that connects downtown Shelton to northern Shelton. I got up to the top of the trail and it's closed off. They shut it. You can't, it says trail is closed on the other side. On the library side, there's nothing to show that the trail is closed. There's no signs, nothing that I could find anyway, because I was looking because, hey, and they did a real good job of clearing out brush and it looks nice and the trail is preserved. So I walked up that and then trail closed, but people will find a way. And around this big fenced off area, son of a gun, there's an informal trail. You follow it along and then you're at the bottom where you would have come out on the other side. Only when you get to the top, it's been blocked up in such a way that you've walked up somebody's driveway then. So thumbs up for that. Now that I know that that trail is closed, I'm not going to walk up it anymore. I'm just sad. But there's reasons. Anyway, I've also opened up 24 hours worth of comments, my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. I'm not reading the comments. I'm just thanking you for having left me a comment. It is appreciated. Thank you so very much. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker, and it is a range of 20 to 25 because even though I count in American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand with my fibro depression and more, I'm amazed that I cannot read. Let's see if I can even say something about rude. This name up here. There's a kind of a joke that goes behind the whole thing, but I'm stumbling over my tongue so much. There's no hope. Anyway, let's get started. Let me call on my Chrome. ASMR Grandpa, thank you very, very much. And John Sonamary, I'm nowhere close, but greatly appreciated. Zenko PR RP, thumbs up and thank you. Riley Bristow, greatly appreciated. And Yizwire, thumbs up and thank you. LXTENCY, not quite sure how to pronounce that, but thank you very, very much. And Jacob, greatly appreciated. Ice Damon, always good to see you in the comments. Thank you very much. High Tech Perk 30 Bug Juice, greatly appreciated and thank you. Kuchapachi Paul, always good to see you in the comments. Thumbs up and thank you. And then Lily Felon, greatly appreciated. Insfect CYR, thumbs up and thank you. Then we have Kiss Sakula, I'm nowhere close, but thank you much. Sage M, greatly appreciated. Then we have Lufinguy, thumbs up and thank you. I cannot pronounce this one, but it's like Suryathavan Hunusami. I'm nowhere close, but thank you very, very much. And Kyuram Boss, greatly appreciated. Sick Wool, thumbs up and thank you. Beamer Girl Annie, greatly appreciated. We have Will's Melon, son of a gun, and thank you. I wonder what that means. It's interesting. It raises questions. Then we have Rapid Inertia. That's almost a paradox. Roblox eats kids. It does. Be careful. Ishay Thought? I hope I'm close. Greatly appreciated. Kathy Kitscat, thumbs up and thank you. And last but not least, Dankrupt. Greatly appreciated. And how does human meat taste? I have read that we taste very pork-like. Hence our informal nickname of long pig. Don't eat human meat, though. We're not a healthy meat. We're very fatty, and that's not good. And if you eat human brains, you can catch kuru, which is not good. It's bad, so don't. I mean, it's just not a good idea. Anyway, though, if you could check out my various links, I have Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com. If you could donate to my GoFundMe campaign or become a Patreon.com patron like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. If you wanted to help me out but didn't want to donate to one of those too, I have a PayPal link down below, and that would be very cool if you could check that out. And if you wanted to help me out but you didn't want to send money or cash, if you could check out the, I'm going, because I didn't mean to say cash. Don't send cash. It's never a good idea. But if you wanted to help me out but you didn't want to donate anything electronically, if you could check out the Amazon wish list link down below, that would be very cool and greatly appreciated. Now, do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot donate, or you simply do not donate, I do take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart, where I draw interest, so thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. Definitely a thumbs up. And of course, if you could subscribe to the channel and hit that bell, that would be very cool, greatly appreciated. I would understand if you did not wish to, but if you are down with it, I will do my very best to keep you entertained from now until the literal end of time. Definitely a thumbs up. So I've got this video, I've got a different video, and then hopefully another video today, maybe even another one. I am just setting myself up for continued failure, subscriber burn. I do way too much content, I know. Still though, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, my friend, and that is a very good thing. And just be good to yourself. I sound like I'm being very harsh on myself, and I am, but I'm also realizing that I'm mostly doing it just for fun and comedic effect right now. So, take care.